15 perennials to plant in September. Easy, low maintenance and fall-ready blooms. Hey there, plant lovers and dreamers of green spaces. Welcome back to Earthly Delights, the corner of YouTube where gardens aren't just grown, they're lived in. Maybe you're the kind of person who tends a balcony garden after a long workday, craving that moment of calm with your coffee and your favorite plant. Or perhaps you're the busy soul who wants color and life around you, but only if it comes without endless fuss. And I know some of you are seasoned gardeners, always searching for that next perennial that will not only survive the changing seasons, but thrive year after year, turning your backyard into a sanctuary. September is often seen as the winding down of summer, a time when many gardeners think they've missed their chance. But here's the secret. September is not the end, it's a beginning. The soil is still warm, the air is cooler, and nature offers us a window to plant perennials that will root deeply now and reward us when spring returns. Whether your space is a single pot by the window, a small patio, or a yard filled with possibility, this month holds treasures just waiting to be planted. So settle in, grab your favorite drink, and let's explore together. And if this feels like the kind of place where you belong, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you and I can keep growing side by side, season after season. Part 1, September Survivors Plants that root strong in fall. As the days grow shorter and the air turns crisp, September offers the perfect balance. Warm soil below, cool breezes above. This is when hardy perennials truly shine. They don't just survive these conditions, they use them to build powerful root systems that guarantee a brighter, stronger return next spring. 1. Coneflower, Echinacea. If there's one perennial that feels like a symbol of resilience, it's the coneflower. Standing tall with bold petals in shades of pink, purple, or even fiery orange, Echinacea is more than just a flower, it's a statement of strength. Planting it in September may feel late, but in truth, it's the perfect time. The soil is still warm enough for roots to establish, while cooler nights ease the stress of summer heat. By next year, your coneflowers will be thriving, sending up blooms that last for weeks and attract a parade of butterflies, bees, and even goldfinches that feed on their seed heads. For gardeners who sometimes forget a watering or two, coneflower is forgiving. It thrives in full sun, laughs at poor soil, and once rooted, it's remarkably drought-tolerant. Whether you're filling a border, tucking a pot on your balcony, or weaving color into a pollinator-friendly garden, coneflower grows with you. Each bloom is like a little beacon, reminding you that strength and beauty can go hand in hand, and that even in September, it's never too late to plant hope. 2. Black-eyed Susan, Rudbeckia. If your garden craves a touch of golden sunshine as summer fades, Black-eyed Susan is the answer. With its bright yellow petals radiating around a deep, dark center, Rudbeckia feels like nature's way of holding on to summer's warmth just a little longer. September is an ideal time to plant it, giving the roots a head start before winter, so that by next year you'll enjoy bold clumps of flowers that light up your garden from midsummer through fall. This perennial isn't just about looks, it's about resilience. Black-eyed Susans thrive in full sun, handle poor soil without complaint, and once established, they're impressively drought-tolerant. Their blooms invite butterflies and bees, while the seed heads left behind in autumn become a feast for songbirds. For those of you with busy schedules or small spaces, Rudbeckia offers beauty without the burden of constant care. Plant it along fences, in borders, or even in containers, and it will reward you year after year. It's the kind of perennial that brings cheer to your space and quietly reminds you, joy often grows in the simplest, most dependable things. 3. Sedum Autumn Joy, Stonecrop. When September rolls in, few plants embrace the season as gracefully as Sedum Autumn Joy. With its fleshy, water-storing leaves and tight clusters of buds that mature into rosy pink, then deepen into bronze red. This perennial feels like a slow, blooming firework designed for fall. Planting in September gives sedum a perfect chance to anchor its roots into the still warm soil, ensuring it will return stronger and fuller with each passing year. Sedum thrives in conditions where many plants struggle. Dry, rocky corners, neglected containers on your patio, That hot, sunny strip of garden you've never figured out how to fill? Sedum steps in and transforms these spots into showcases of effortless beauty. Once established, it needs almost no extra water, making it perfect for travelers or busy plant parents who don't have time for daily care. Even in winter, when blooms fade, sedum's sculptural seed heads stand tall, catching frost and snow like living art. For gardeners who want strength with style, sedum Autumn Joy is a quiet hero. It reminds us that beauty doesn't always come from fuss. It comes from endurance, balance, and the ability to shine even as the seasons shift. Part 2. Cozy balcony and small space beauties. Not every garden has sprawling beds or wide yards, and that's the beauty of September planting. Even a balcony, a windowsill, or a compact patio can become a thriving green retreat. These perennials are perfect for tight spaces, graceful, low maintenance, and full of charm. They don't just fit into small places, they transform them into havens of calm and color. Or catmint, Nepeta, gentle, fragrant, and endlessly forgiving. Catmint is a dream perennial for anyone looking to bring softness and calm into their space. With silvery green leaves and delicate lavender blue flowers, it adds a touch of cottage charm without demanding much care. Planting in September allows catmint to take advantage of warm soil, helping its roots settle before winter so that it bursts back with vigor in spring. By early summer, you'll be rewarded with long, airy stems that sway gently in the breeze and keep blooming for months. Catmint thrives in full sun but tolerates partial shade, and once established, it's drought-resistant, perfect for gardeners who sometimes forget a watering or two. Its subtle fragrance isn't just pleasant to us. Pollinators adore it, and butterflies often linger around its blooms. Place it in a balcony pot where it can spill gracefully over the edge. Line it along walkways to soften the edges, or weave it between stepping stones to create a flowing effect. Even better, catmint resists pests and deer, making it one of the most carefree plants you can grow. For those who crave beauty without fuss, catmint quietly transforms small spaces into serene retreats, reminding you that elegance often lies in simplicity. 5. Heuchera, coral bells. If you've ever wished your garden or balcony could stay colorful even when flowers fade, Heuchera, better known as coral bells, is your answer. Unlike many perennials that rely on blooms, this plant shines through its foliage. From deep burgundy to lime green, caramel, and even silvery veined leaves, coral bells bring year-round texture and vibrancy to both gardens and containers. Planting in September is a gift. You're giving it cool nights and warm soil, the perfect combination to establish strong roots before winter arrives. Heuchera is wonderfully versatile. It thrives in partial shade, making it ideal for those tricky corners where the sun doesn't linger. And for balcony gardeners, it's a store in pots, tucking in easily with other plants or standing alone as a bold statement piece. Its leaves form neat mounds that stay attractive throughout the seasons, while delicate, bell-shaped flowers rise on slender stems in spring and summer, offering nectar to hummingbirds and pollinators. What makes coral bells so beloved is their low-maintenance nature. They're not fussy about soil, they tolerate drought once settled, and they rarely suffer from pests. For busy plant lovers, Heuchera provides long-lasting beauty without constant care. It's a perennial that feels like a steady companion, always present, always adding life to your space, no matter the season. 6. Scabiosa, pincushion flower. Delicate yet enduring scabiosa, often called the pincushion flower, adds a whimsical touch to any garden or balcony. Its soft, cushion-like blooms rise gracefully on slender stems, swaying lightly in the breeze like floating confetti. Shades of lavender, pink, white, and soft blue make it a favorite for gardeners who crave elegance without excess. Planting in September allows scabiosa to establish its roots before winter, so when spring arrives, it bursts forth with a generous show of blooms that last well into summer and often continue through early fall. Perfect for small spaces, scabiosa thrives in containers, raised beds, or those awkward, narrow patches you never know how to fill. It prefers full sun and well-drained soil, rewarding you with flowers that attract butterflies, bees, and even hummingbirds. For balcony gardeners, it's a joy to watch these pollinators flutter so close to your living space. Another bonus, scabiosa makes an excellent cut flower. A few stems in a vase will brighten your table for days, bringing the garden indoors. Low maintenance and long blooming, this perennial is ideal for plant lovers who want beauty that feels light, joyful, and a little bit magical, all without demanding constant attention. It's proof that sometimes the most subtle touches create the greatest charm. Part 3, Fall Color and Cottage Charm. September isn't just about planning it for the future. It's also about savoring color now. As days shorten and evenings cool, certain perennials step forward with timeless grace, bringing warmth, nostalgia, and cottage garden beauty to your space. These classics don't just bloom, they tell stories, evoking memories of family gardens, autumn walks, and golden light. 7. Daylilies. Hemeroculus. Daylilies are the kind of perennial that every gardener falls in love with sooner or later. Their graceful, arching foliage and vibrant blooms bring rhythm and movement to a garden, creating waves of color that seem to change daily. Each blossom only lasts for a single day, but that fleeting beauty is what makes them special. A single clump can produce dozens of buds, ensuring a steady parade of blooms throughout the season. And if you choose a reblooming variety, like the ever-popular Stella d'Oro, you'll enjoy bright flowers well into the fall months. September is a wonderful time to plant daylilies. The soil is warm enough for their roots to settle in, yet the cooler evenings reduce stress and help them adjust more easily. By next summer, you'll be greeted with healthy clumps bursting with color. Daylilies thrive in full sun, but can tolerate partial shade, and they're not picky about soil type, making them perfect for both seasoned gardeners and beginners who are still learning the ropes. What makes daylilies even more appealing is their resilience. Once established, they're drought-tolerant, pest-resistant, and require very little maintenance, whether lining a walkway, softening a fence line, or filling gaps in a flower bed. Daylilies offer effortless charm. They're the kind of plant that rewards you generously without ever asking for much in return. 8. Shasta Daisy, Leucanthemum superbum. Few flowers capture the cheerful spirit of a garden quite like the Shasta Daisy. With its crisp white petals and golden yellow centers, this perennial radiates simplicity and joy, like little bursts of sunshine that brighten even the cloudiest September afternoon. Planting them now allows their roots to anchor into the soil before winter sets in, ensuring a strong return when the next growing season arrives. Come early summer, you'll be rewarded with tall, sturdy stems topped with blooms that last for weeks, standing proudly in borders or cutting gardens. Shasta daisies thrive in full sun and well-drained soil, making them reliable performers in many conditions. They're wonderfully low maintenance, tolerant of drought once established, resistant to deer, and rarely troubled by pests. A quick deadheading of spent blooms encourages even more flowers, though they'll still return reliably year after year with little fuss. These daisies are also fantastic as cut flowers, bringing that fresh farmhouse feel indoors. Place a few stems in a vase, and they'll instantly brighten your kitchen table or desk. For gardeners who want a classic perennial that feels familiar, timeless, and full of heart, Shasta daisies deliver. They remind us that beauty doesn't have to be complicated. It can be pure, honest, and enduring. 9. Chrysanthemums, hardy mums. When September arrives, few plants announce the season as boldly as chrysanthemums, better known as hardy mums. With their dense, cushion-like mounds of blooms in fiery oranges, deep reds, golden yellows, and rich purples, mums are the true stars of the fall garden. Planting them in September gives them a perfect chance to root into the still warm soil, preparing them to return with even more vigor next year. While many people buy mums as annual decorations, treating them as true perennials means you'll enjoy their beauty for seasons to come. Hardy mums love full sun and well-drained soil, rewarding you with a spectacular floral display that lasts until frost. They're also remarkably versatile, thriving in garden beds, edging walkways, or filling porch containers with seasonal cheer. A little pinch in early summer helps them stay compact and encourages even more blooms. But even without much attention, they'll still put on a dazzling show. For busy gardeners, mums are a blessing. They require minimal care, tolerate cooler weather, and instantly create that cozy autumn atmosphere we all crave. And for wildlife lovers, their nectar-rich flowers offer a late-season food source for pollinators. Whether lining your steps or brightening your borders, chrysanthemums bring a warmth that feels like autumn itself, welcoming, colorful, and enduring. Part 4, Pollinator Powerhouses feeding bees and butterflies before frost. As autumn edges closer, pollinators need reliable food sources to carry them through the season. September is the perfect moment to plant perennials that not only brighten your garden, but also nourish bees, butterflies, and even hummingbirds. These plants bring movement, life, and purpose, turning your garden into a living sanctuary. 10. Bee Balm Monarda. If you want a plant that brings instant life and energy to your garden, bee balm is a must. With shaggy, firework-like blooms in shades of scarlet, pink, or purple, Monarda isn't just striking, it's irresistible to pollinators. Hummingbirds dart in and out of its blossoms, bees hum with delight, and butterflies linger as if they've found their favorite cafe. Planting in September allows bee balm to establish its roots in the cooling soil, ensuring an even more spectacular display when summer returns. Bee balm thrives in full sun to partial shade and appreciates moist, well-drained soil. Give it room to breathe. Good air circulation helps prevent powdery mildew, especially in humid climates. Once it's settled, you'll find it surprisingly resilient, bouncing back year after year with more blooms and more pollinator visitors than before. Beyond its beauty, bee balm carries a long history of use. Its aromatic leaves, with a subtle, minty fragrance, have been brewed into teas for centuries, adding both charm and function to your garden. Whether planted along a border, near a patio, or beside a favorite bench, bee balm turns your outdoor space into a buzzing, fluttering haven of color and sound. A daily reminder that your garden isn't just for you, but for all the creatures who share it. 11. Yarrow Achillea millefolium. Strong, graceful, and quietly powerful. Yarrow is the kind of perennial that looks delicate but holds surprising resilience. Its flat-topped, the clusters of flowers bloom in sunny yellows, soft pastels, and even fiery reds, giving your September garden a wild, meadow-like elegance. Planting in early fall gives yarrow a chance to set down roots in the warm soil, so it returns next year with fuller clumps and even more blooms that last from early summer well into autumn. Yarrow thrives in conditions where other plants may falter. Full sun, poor soil, or dry ground. This perennial doesn't just tolerate them, it thrives. Once established, it becomes remarkably drought-resistant and requires almost no maintenance, making it perfect for busy gardeners or those who prefer a more natural, unfussy style. Its fine, fern-like foliage adds texture long before the flowers even appear, keeping the plant attractive all season. Perhaps yarrow's greatest gift is its role in the ecosystem. Bees, butterflies, and other beneficial insects are drawn to its nectar, while deer and rabbits tend to leave it alone. It's also a wonderful cut flower, fresh or dried, adding charm to bouquets and arrangements. Yarrow is more than just a plant. It's a quiet caretaker for your garden, blending beauty, strength, and purpose in every bloom. 12. Asters, Symphiatricum. As summer begins to fade, asters step into the spotlight, carrying the garden gracefully into autumn. With their star-shaped blooms in shades of purple, pink, blue, and white, they feel like nature's way of painting the season with fresh color just when many other flowers begin to tire. Planting asters in September is a clever choice. The roots take advantage of warm soil to establish quickly, ensuring strong growth and an even fuller bloom display the following year. Oysters thrive in full sun and well-drained soil, though they'll tolerate partial shade as well. They're versatile, working beautifully in borders, cottage gardens, or containers where their late-season flowers provide bursts of cheer. More than just pretty faces, asters are a lifeline for pollinators. Bees, butterflies, and especially migrating monarchs rely on their nectar during the cooler months, making them one of the most important plants for extending food supplies at the end of the season. Low maintenance and dependable, asters return each year stronger, asking for little more than occasional watering and dry spells in a trim to keep their shape. For gardeners who want both beauty and purpose, asters deliver in abundance, bridging the gap between summer and fall while ensuring your garden stays alive with color and life until the very last warm days. Part 5. Bold structures and textured foliage. Every garden needs a few showstoppers, the plants that catch your eye from across the yard or turn a simple balcony into a statement. In September, it's the perfect time to add perennials with striking form, textured leaves, and strong vertical presence. These aren't just background players. They're the anchors that give your garden depth, drama, and year-round character. 13. Russian sage, Perovskia atriplycifolia. If you're looking for a perennial that blends elegance with endurance, Russian sage is a true gem. With tall, airy stems covered in tiny lavender blue flowers and silvery aromatic foliage, it creates a soft, cloud-like effect that dances in the breeze. Planting in September is ideal. Warm soil helps its roots establish deeply, and by the time next summer rolls around, you'll have a spectacular haze of color that lasts from midsummer well into fall. Russian sage is a plant that thrives on neglect. It loves full sun, tolerates poor or sandy soil, and once established, it's incredibly drought-resistant. Perfect for gardeners who travel often or prefer a low-maintenance landscape, it requires very little water or attention to look its best. Its tall, wispy form adds vertical drama, making it a stunning backdrop in borders, gravel gardens, or even large patio containers. Beyond its beauty, Russian sage is beloved by pollinators. Bees and butterflies flock to its nectar-rich flowers, ensuring your garden stays vibrant and alive with activity. Its clean, herbal scent adds another layer of sensory delight, especially when you brush past it on a warm afternoon. For those who crave a perennial that's both striking and effortless, Russian sage offers timeless charm that endures through every season. 14. Agastache, anise hyssop. Agastache, often called anise hyssop, is a perennial that feels like pure magic in the garden. With tall spires of lavender, coral, or pink blossoms and fragrant, minty fresh foliage, it combines beauty, scent, and pollinator power in one graceful plant. September is an excellent time to tuck it into your beds or containers. The roots settle in easily with the lingering warmth of the soil, preparing to explode with color and energy the following summer. Agastache thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, making it a perfect match for gardeners who don't want to fuss over delicate care routines. Once established, it becomes highly drought-tolerant, needing little more than occasional watering during prolonged dry spells. Its vertical blooms stand tall and proud, adding structure and height to mixed borders, while its aromatic leaves release a sweet, licorice-like fragrance whenever touched, turning even the simplest walk through your garden into a sensory experience. What makes Agastache truly special is how it brings your garden to life. Hummingbirds zip from flower to flower, bees hum happily, and butterflies drift around its nectar-rich spires. For gardeners who want both beauty and biodiversity, Agastache is a gift. It's more than just a flower, it's a source of movement, fragrance, and joy that lingers long after the blooms fade. 15. Hellebor's Lenten Rose. If you dream of a plant that keeps your garden alive even when winter feels endless, hellebores, often called Lenten roses, are your answer. With glossy evergreen leaves and blooms that appear in late winter to early spring, they're among the first perennials to whisper that warmer days are coming. Planting them in September gives their roots time to establish before the cold sets in, ensuring they'll greet you with strength and beauty when the new year begins. Hellebores thrive in partial to full shade, making them perfect for those quieter corners of your garden where many flowers refuse to grow. Their flowers, which can range from creamy white and pale green to deep purple and pink, nod gracefully on strong stems, often peeking through the last snow. Unlike delicate spring bulbs, their blooms last for weeks, offering long-lasting color at a time when most plants are still asleep. Low maintenance and tough, hellebores are resistant to deer and rabbits, tolerate a range of soils, and rarely demand more than occasional watering. For gardeners with busy lives, they're a dependable companion, always there, steady and surprising. Whether tucked into a shady border, planted under trees, or placed in a container near your door, hellebores bring quiet elegance, year-round foliage, and the promise of early blooms that lift the heart after the dark days of winter. September is a beginning, not an end. And there we have it, 15 perennials that prove September is not too late, but in fact just the right time to plant. While many people think gardening slows down as summer fades, the truth is that the cooler air and warm soil create the perfect conditions for roots to dig deep and grow strong. Every plant you tuck into the earth this month is like an investment in next spring's beauty and next year's resilience. Maybe you saw yourself in the forgiving strength of coneflowers, or maybe the timeless simplicity of Shasta daisies tugged at your heart. Perhaps it was the bold autumn colors of chrysanthemums that spoke to your love of the season, or the quiet magic of hellebores that made you imagine a winter garden full of life. No matter which perennial called your name, each one offers not just blooms, but comfort, calm, and connection. Reminders that gardens are as much about the journey as the result. So whether your garden is a single pot on your balcony or a sprawling backyard full of possibility, September is your chance to plant hope. Keep nurturing your green space, and in return, it will nurture you. I'd love to know which of these perennials inspired you most. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and share your garden dreams with our community. And if you enjoyed today's journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us here at Earthly Delights, where we grow together season after season. Until next time, keep planting, keep blooming, and keep believing in the quiet power of your garden.